Ooh. Ew. This is a tough one. I read this question, and quite honestly, I came up with way too many things that are hard about this profession. So to ask the question, what is the hardest part about being a nurse? Ah, man, this is a toughie. How do you narrow it down? Everything from difficult work environment, physically exhausting work, mentally depleting, emotionally draining. Ooh, I'm fairly certain that every single nurse is going to come up with a different answer based on their career trajectory. I think a lot of nurses who have had tough time with finding a job or a tough time finding the right work environment, they're probably going to talk about how work-life balance, or people suck, or coworkers suck, nurses eat their young, and then there could be nurses out there, depending on their career trajectory, could talk about how the pay sucks, or the shift work sucks, the hours suck. So here's my best answer, is that nursing is just like every other blue-collared profession out there, every white-collared profession out there. It's the same as every other working job out there. It has its growing pains. It has its plus and minuses. Shifts can suck. People suck. Pay can suck. Not being appreciated. Not getting the recognition we deserve. Not getting the pay that we deserve. Unsafe working environments. Horrible bosses. Just downright life energy sucking individuals that are just miserable. Patients just miserable. And you could say that about anyone that works with the public. There's always going to be people out there that make this difficult. And that's never going to change. All of the things that I've mentioned, they're never going to change. We work with the public. We don't control the human condition. I can't control the culture in which that you work, other than trying to change it from the bottom up. Finding your tribe, finding people that vibe on the same wavelength as you, or finding a job that suits all of the needs that you're looking for. It's so difficult. Nursing is like every other job out there. It has its pains. It has its positives and negatives. If I had to give what's the single most difficult thing, the hardest part about being a nurse, I think is the patient loss. This entire job is about advocating for another human being, speaking for human beings in their most vulnerable and most horrific moments. You take care of patients when they're absolutely frightened about what can happen next. And you could talk about, people who don't take good care of themselves, and the non-compliant people out there, and the angry monsters that are out there. But at the end of the day, our job doesn't change. We still advocate for our patients when they can't do it themselves, whether it's on purpose or not. When patients can't advocate for themselves, they come to us. We are the most trusted profession in the world in the United States for a reason. They come to us for help. And when I'm not able to provide that help, or I'm unable to, I don't want to say fix their problem, but address their problem and make them better, or make them less scared, or make them less sick, those things are the hardest. Nobody can teach you how to deal with that loss and that pain. There's no book, there's no training module, there's nothing out there that can prepare you for the void that you're going to have to adapt to and deal with and cope with. There's absolutely there's no internet scheme, and there's no book, there's no class that can teach you how to do that. Just time and effort, time and grade, and just experience. I go back to say it all the time. It's my saying. Experience trumps everything. And this is no different. You only get better at dealing. The pain never gets easier. You just get better at dealing with it. I don't think you learn to ignore it. I think you learn to accept that we're all human, and no matter what I do, I am not going to be successful 100% of the time taking care of my patients. I'm going to have losses, and I have to accept that. Some losses are harder than others. And sometimes you have a lot of losses in a single shift or a single hour. It's going to happen. It's that emotional turmoil. It's maintaining that emotional bank that I talk about all the time. I think that's the hardest part of nursing. I don't care who you are, where you are, who you work with, what job you do in this profession. I think that's the hardest part.